chased Lions running back Alty Taylor into the stands. Taylor told a reporter he thought Butkus was overrated. After Taylor stepped out of bounds to avoid a hit in the game, Butkus kept chasing him all the way to the stands of Soldier Field.
Dick Butkus.
Dick Butkus.
Dick Butkus. What's the first thing you think of? Right there. Jules, there you are as Rambo. No. Oh, look at you, man. I love that ammo around your shoulder as well, man. You came prepared.
Nah, bro.
The paint, the blackface.
No, it's not blackface. Remember when he put his shit on?
Yeah. That's kind of like eye black, but on your whole face.
Fucking
so you can blend in the woods better.
First thing I think of about Dick Butkus.
Yeah, what's the first thing you think of? Besides an inappropriate first name. Well, that's what I know you're thinking of.
Nah, yeah.
I am. That's the first thing I think of, like, wow, he must have had a huge piece if that's your name. Yeah.
I think his name was Richard, and they call people Richard Dick. But first thing I think of, just old school football.
Oh, he was Richard.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. So
all Richards are Dick. You know that, right?
I didn't know that.
If you're a Richard,
I thought Richards, you are a Dick, but you can also just be named Dick, but not Richard.
No, I don't think anyone's just named Dick.
Yeah, Dick Sporting Goods.
That is correct. That is correct.
They're not Richard Sporting Goods.
Are all Richards Dicks?
Yeah. Yeah, all Richards are Dicks.
That is correct if you use the nickname.
I had a good one. I just had a monster appearance, and my security guard name was Richard, and he goes, yeah, everyone knows me as Monster Dick, Security Monster Dick. And like, that was pretty cool. I thought that was cool. Sorry. Yeah.
So, but it goes to the point, anyone named Richard is Dick.
So I was like, oh, my security guard has a monster dick. That's what I was thinking. I'm protected. So yeah, if you're Richard, yeah, you're Dick. Okay. Back to Dick Butkus.
Dick Butkus.
Oh, look at he's got Butt in his last name too.
I mean,
this guy is very scary. That is scary.
He
tore the offensive line's ass. He shredded them.
Like
that's why Butt in his name. Tore their asses apart on that football field.
I mean, is that a Mount Rushmore football name?
It might be
Dick Butkus.
It's top. It's top name. It's one of the top names.
What are some other big names?
I mean, he also had other nicknames as well. The Animal, the Enforcer, the
Maestro
of Mayhem. That was me as a kid, by the way.
Yeah.
Like how we were just talking about me dressing up as a kid. I was the Maestro of Mayhem. Oh, and the Robot of Destruction. Oh, that was also me too. Walking into rooms and just me being on the field as a kid. Me and Dick are very similar.
Do you ever meet him?
Have I ever met him?
He's not alive anymore, is he? He died recently, last like 5 years. I don't think I ever got to meet him.
I never got to meet him either, but I was just watching some highlight films of him, man, and I just love the way that he plays. And he has to be one of those first true linebackers where it's like he's huge.
Yeah.
Like being that size.
245 back then's huge.
Exactly. He looked bigger than offensive lineman. He looked bigger than defensive lineman. I love the way that he wore his shoulder pads. It made him just look even bigger than everyone else because they were like stocky. It was like he wore those fullback shoulder pads a little bit, but at the linebacker position. But what I really loved about his game is that he ran after the ball carrier like there was no one else in his way. Like he would just run. A lineman would come and block him, but it's like he could see through the lineman. He could run right through the lineman. He can avoid that lineman that's coming at him. And he would get to the ball carrier every single time. Someone falls on the ground in front of him. Somehow, even though he's staring at the ball carrier, he would leap over the guy that's on the ground instead of tripping over him. It's like nothing was stopping him from getting to that ball carrier. And that's what defines a great legendary linebacker is they see ball carrier, get the ball carrier, tackle ball carrier. And that was Dick Butkus. And that's why he was one of the scariest guys to block because it's so hard to block a guy that their motive is just to get the tackle because they can just swoop right around you, run through you. They just don't see you, Jules.
No, I mean, I've seen some highlights of him where he just literally I've seen him close arm people. Like that was the game back then was basically just like murder on a field. It was like these guys were poking each other's eyeballs. It was just a completely different game. And whenever you talk to anyone of like who's a historian of this game, they always talk about Dick Butkus. And we even said it, talking about him 60 years later, his impact on the game was clearly insane. They say he had a 4.5 40 back then at 245. I mean, that's just crazy. He's hard-nosed, had speed and range, was able to cover sideline to sideline. The sideline to sideline.
He was so good at that. Good.
That was because of Dick Butkus. That's where they got the term sideline to sideline. And it was pretty cool that he played his whole football career in the state of Illinois. He went to University of Illinois, played for the Bears, and he's a legend. He's just an absolute legend. He played with the ferocity of an angered animal. Hall of Fame coach George Allen on Dick Butkus. The first time I saw Butkus, I started packing my gear. There was no way that guy wasn't going to be great. Bill George, Butkus's predecessor at linebacker for the Bears.
This is one of my favorite quotes right here by Bears center Mike Pyle.
Yeah, Mike Pyle.
Yes. And just trying to get Butkus to go easier in practice, because I kind of did this sometimes. Like
brother-in-law. They call that brother-in-law.
Yeah, brother-in-law in practice. And I did it plenty of times, especially with Ninko. I got to give credit to Ninkovich. I mean, he wasn't a great cover guy. He's kind of mind-boggled every single day as well.
Yeah.
But this guy has low center of gravity, Ninkovich, and it was so hard to block him. He had so much power. So I always try to become buddies with him.
Yeah,
because
buddy him up.
I wanted to, be 100% for games on Sunday. And I just can't pound my head against Ninkovich every day. I already knew that. But so this is a trick I like by Mike Pyle, because I would try to butter up Ninkovich, is that I spend all this money buying him dinner and beer and stuff like that so he wouldn't take it out on me in the scrimmages. Like, that just explains how good Dick Butkus was and how hard he played.
But do not put Ninkovich in the same sentence with Dick Butkus.
Absolutely not. I was just putting him in the same sentence.
They are both Chicago guys.
Yeah, they're both from Illinois, and how I just buttered up Ninkos just because that's the only skill he had, was coming off the line and trying to hit me.
No.
What do you mean?
I just
don't give him credit. He rags on us 24/7.
Yeah, we can't get on with Ninko too bad. He might
cry.
Yeah, he might get all sad.
I'll hang out with him next week. He had more skills than just coming off the line. He actually had over 50 sacks in his career.
He did. We hear about it every time.
Yeah, we do. We do.
and the most forced fumble, or the most fumble recoveries or something.
And the most underpaid white linebacker defensive end to ever play.
But no, who wasn't under? Well, Dick Butkus was probably underpaid too.
He probably made $300 a game.
He really did.
Yeah, 1965.
Did he have a job out of the season?
Probably.
That's how it was back then. Remember we did the day. Were you there with Coach Belichick where we did the day where we were supposed to be from like the 30s or something, or the 40s, where they took out like all the breakfast and they just gave you coffee and like cereal, and like people were smoking cigarettes in practice and stuff. You know what I mean? Did you see that? You remember that day?
No, I don't.
I wonder what year that was. We did like a time lapse thing. It was like a time lapse team building day where we were going to see how it was back in the day when...
I think you were a rookie when this happened, and I wasn't on the team yet.
No, maybe it was the year you left or you retired.
Yeah, I just wasn't there for it.
You weren't that one.
No.
It was pretty crazy that they lived like that.
But let's get back to Dick Butkus, okay? He made an immediate impact his rookie season, 5 interceptions, 7 fumble recoveries. And I just love the way when he picked up the ball, he would just go full speed as well.
Full speed.
And become a ball carrier. He was just so great to watch. He was entertaining. He had an incredible career at Illinois, All-American, played center and linebacker. I mean, he had the size. Like I said, he was bigger than these offensive line at the time.
He looks like a football player.
He does. He's the definition of a football player.
One of the first guys to wear a bull ring, I think, too. Was he one of that? That was like he made the bull ring for middle linebacker. That was like if you were a badass middle linebacker, you had the bull ring. And I think it was because of Dick Butkus.
In 1970, we're talking a year after 1969. I don't know why I just brought that up, but I just just kind of felt like I should. It just popped up
What's
in my
your number?
mind. He signed a multi-year contract extension to remain in Chicago, and the contract raised his salary from $50,000 per year to around $80,000 to $100,000 per year. And we're talking a complete football player, and he was just making $100,000 a year.
But $100,000 back
at
in
that time,
1970.
Yeah,
I mean, it was probably
like $2 million now.
maybe something like that. We don't. Rob probably did the math.
Yeah, it was about $2 million now.
It's about $2 million right there.
Yeah, so he was all right. He was fine. He had money.
They didn't even keep.
He probably didn't have to pay for a single thing though in the state of Illinois.
No, this guy didn't. No,
beer
nothing.
I mean, even his center was buying him beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy didn't have to pay for a thing. Hey, do you think he could have covered you, Jules?
No.
Yeah, I know. I was watching him cover guys. That back in those days, they didn't really have the athleticism.
If he got his hands on me,
yeah, he could have kind of
like
pulled you.
they probably with his,
Yeah.
he would have probably just tackled me.
Yeah, exactly. And that would have been allowed because he would have only had to tackle you in order to cover you. But we would have smoked him back in the day. I saw him in coverage. But I wouldn't say we would smoke him in the run game. I think he would run right through us. But man, in the pass game, I would give it to us.
Chased Lions running back Alty Taylor into the stands. That's how scary this Joker is. Taylor told a reporter he thought Butkus was overrated. After Taylor stepped out of bounds to avoid a hit in the game, Butkus kept chasing him all the way to the stands of Soldier Field.
I love it. I love it.
Time.
Dick Butkus, scary player.
And rest in peace to Dick. He passed away a few years ago, and we're talking about him to this day, one of the founding fathers of this league.
And thank you to Dick Butkus for, setting the standard of what it is to be a football player. Not an athlete out there and be a freak of nature, a football player, just going out there and dominating on the football field. Thank you, Dick.
I mean, he could probably be a bunch of these things. He was such a huge dude, ran 4.5, obviously has dog tendencies. But I think it's one thing when you look at him, it just
stands out. And like what I really like about him as well is that stash that he has. Yeah. That stash just stands out to me and just made him that much more scary.
Yeah.
So what kind of duties is
on
he?
3. 1, 2, 3, stud.
I mean, he's got his center buying him beers. He got that stash that I just brought up. I got to bring it up again because we didn't talk about it at all. I mean, just the way he can go from sideline to sideline.
And he's been the role model for every middle linebacker since. Like everyone talks about Dick Butkus. Ray Lewis talks about Dick Butkus. Like Fred Warner probably talks about Dick Butkus. I don't know if he does, but probably.
Probably
because that's how studly he was.